everyone, welcome to the Dataholics YouTube channel, and in today's video we are again going to continue the SQL series and we will start from very basic topic, right? For example, creating a database, using a database, deleting a database, then we will see how to create a table in SQL, how to insert records into SQL manually, right? So in other video I have already covered how to import data from CSV into SQL Server, or you can also try it for different databases, right? So this is already covered. Now let us, without wasting much time, let us cover these topics today, right? So see, I'm currently into SQL Server and let us see how to create a database. The command is very simple, as in pure English, create database. So these are the keywords. Create and database are the keywords, and here you have to give the database name. You can give any database name. For example, I'm giving create database sample DB. Let's say if I execute it, what will happen? Commands completed successfully. Now in my system, there will be a database by the name sample DB. For example, you see here, correct? Now if I want to use it, I can just simply run the command use sample DB, or I can just come here on the drop down and I can choose the option of sample DB from here, right? That is the thing, like sample DB, or I can just run this command. This is how do we tell SQL that, okay, now whatever I will do, whatever tables I will create, whatever data I will insert, do this inside sample DB database, right? So see, now if I want to delete this database, I can just run this command, drop database sample DB. Be very cautious while deleting anything. Okay, now let us see if I want to create a table inside the database. So inside sample DB, let us create a table. Let me create a table called employee, right? So see, the command is again very simple. Create table, this is the keyword, a table name, and then inside a small bracket we have to put the column names and their data type. Column name and their data type. So for example, employee ID int. I want the employee ID column called employee ID, and the data type will be integer. By data type I mean what type of values I'm going to store inside that column. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 integer values, number values, right? Then after comma, I will put the second column name, employee name, and the name will be obviously it will consist of alphanumeric string values like akshar, AKSHAT, alphabets, characters, right? So whenever we want to store anything like character or alphanumeric, we have to use varchar or char data type in SQL, right? So let's say I want to take the data type as varchar, and the size is 30. The limit is 30. Maximum I can store is 30 characters in this column, right? We can even give any other size like 50 or whatever, right? Then another column called email, again varchar 30 size. Then let's say the fourth column will be contact int, right? So these are the 4 columns which I want to create in that table. So let's say I can create it. So commands completed successfully. Now if I see the table, we have already seen how to print the table. Select star asterisk from table name. So it will give us all the columns. So see, in the output it is giving me the 4 columns, but there is no data inside it because we have not inserted any data into the table till now, right? So now let us insert the data into the table manually, one by one. So let's say I want to insert that 5 records, right, like this. So let us understand it. So to insert a record into SQL table, it is very simple again. Insert into, so this is the keyword. Here we have to give the table name. My table name is employee. So insert into employee, values. What values, right? So inside a bracket we have to give the values. Okay. So see, here I am not mentioning the column names. So I have to give the values in the same sequence as the column names. So for example, the first column is employee ID. The first value which I will give, it will correspond to employee ID. The second column is employee name. The second value should be corresponding to employee name. And the data type should match. For example, it is varchar. So here I have to put akshar, let's say, right? And then let's say akshar@gmail.com. This is the email, right? So insert into table name, values, and the value which I want to insert. And let's say this is the number, right? Then again, another record, insert into employees, values, then another piece of record similarly, right? This is how we can do that. Okay. Now to avoid writing insert into command multiple times, what we can do is we can also take a shortcut like this. Insert into employees, values, and then I can give the first record, comma, the second record, comma, the third record, and so on, right? So it is like, let's say if I run these 5 lines, execute, 1 row affected, 1 row affected, then 3 rows affected, right? 1 row, and the 3 rows. Okay, now if I see the table now, you will see we will have the data inserted inside the table like this. I hope that's clear. And if you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section. Now what we can do, we can also, let's say we have created this table few months back or something, and I do not remember the exact sequence of the columns. So what I can do is I can also do it like this, insert into employee. Then I will provide the column names. For example, I do not remember the sequence. So let's say but I remember that, okay, there was a column called employee name. Then there was a column called contact. Then there was a column called, I think, employee ID also. And the fourth column was, let's say, for email. I can do this like that, right? And then I can put the values in this sequence, right? I hope you understand. If in any case I do not remember the exact sequence of the column, so I can just give the column names and put the values corresponding to it. So for example, let's say the name is Matthew, right? Comma. The contact is, let's say, this random anything, comma. Email, let's say, is matthew@yahoo.com, right? Anything, comma. And the fourth column I want is, okay, so the third column was employee ID, sorry. Before email, I have to put employee ID. Let's say the employee ID is 6, right? And the email is matthew@yahoo.com. So if I run this, execute it, so it says one row affected. Now if I see the table, select asterisk from employee. So you see that there is one more record inserted into the table, right? So this is how we can manually insert the record into a SQL table. Now, if you obviously it is understood that we cannot insert much records like this manually. Let's say I want to insert 10,000 records. I have to write 10,000 lines of code. So to avoid this, to import data into bulk into SQL table, we can import the data from CSV, Excel, or different data sources, right? So for that, video is already uploaded on the channel. You can check that out, and you will get the link in the description. So I hope inserting the data into the table is clear. Now, while inserting the records into the SQL table, we can also put some constraints on the column, right? So what are the constraints? So constraints are some limitations or some rules which we apply onto the columns. For example, if I want to insert some particular type of value in a column, or if I want some column to be very unique, all the values in that column to be very unique, or if I want to insert proper data into a column, that means that no value in that column should be null, right? So not null. So there are a few constraints which we can apply onto the columns in SQL table, right? So for example, first constraint is not null. It ensures that a column cannot have a null value. Null value basically means missing value, right? Unique. It ensures that all the values in that column should be unique. So for example, whenever we talk about Instagram username, it is unique for everybody. Whenever we talk about email, unique for everybody, right? So those columns can have unique constraint. Like for example, not null. Nobody can exist in this world without a name, right? Everybody has a name. So not null, right? That employee name column can be not null, right? Primary key. So primary key is something which, it's a combination of not null and unique. It's something which uniquely identifies a record into the table, right? For example, when we are working in an organization, primary key can be our employee ID, by which we are uniquely identified. When we were in school or college, our student ID was the primary key by which the college identifies us, right? So that is something called as primary key. Then foreign key. So see, let's say there are two tables which are linked to one another using a common column. So the column in the first table will be the primary key, and that same column by which we are able to reference these two tables is the foreign key in the second table. Example, let's say if I am talking about e-commerce system. So there is a table called user table in which they will store users' personal information. For example, user ID, my name, my contact, my email and all. Then there will be another table called orders. It will store all the orders placed by all the users. So let's say I place 3 orders. How will they identify in the orders table that order is placed by me, Akshat Agarwal, right? So they will have, in the first table, I will have user ID and let's say my name. In the orders table, they will have order ID and the user ID. So corresponding to that order ID, the user ID will reference this table user ID. That will allow us to link these two tables, and the user ID in the user table is the primary key and the user ID in the orders table is the foreign key, right? Then there is a check constraint by which we are allowed to check the particular type of value. For example, let us see this example. Let us see some examples of constraints by practically implementing it. So let's say I'm creating a table called, let's say sample table, right? In this first column is employee ID, and I want the employee ID as integer data type and primary key, right? Then second column called name, the data type is varchar, size is 20, and it should be not null. Then the third column I am entering as department ID integer type, no constraint on this. Email varchar 30 size with a unique constraint. Email should always be unique for everybody. Then there is a column for phone number, right? Phone number should be integer, no constraint on this. Fifth column is for age. It should be integer, and check age should be greater than equal to 18. So see, like generally people below the age of 18 are not allowed to work, right? To earn money. So employee should always be greater than equal to 18. So that is what I'm putting as constraint here. Now let us see if I am inserting some records into the table like this, right? Okay, so let's say if I am insert into sample table values first. So it is employee ID, let's say 1. The name is just, let's say, Joffrey. The third column is department ID, let's say 101. And the fourth column is juma@gmail.com. Fifth column is contact, and the sixth column is age. Let's say instead of 19, if I put age as 11, and if I run this. Oh, so first we have to create this table. Then let's say if I execute this command, so you will say that the insert statement conflicted with the check constraint, because I've already put a condition for check, age should be greater than equal to 18. So I can put it as like above than 18, greater than or equal to 18. Now if I run this, it is inserted, right? So if I want to see the table, see the one record will be inserted. Okay. Now let's say if I want to put the same email in the second record, like this, let's say everything else is different. This is primary key, it's okay. The name, the department ID, this is the same email, but in the email column we have already put a constant of unique. So now if I try to insert this record, let us see what happens. It says violation of the unique key constraint, right? So that is, I hope you are able to understand that, okay, what is the issue, right? Now if I run this, okay, let's say if I take the same employee ID, again, let us see what is the error. Violation of the primary key constraint, because employee ID is the primary key, it cannot have same value for two employees. Right? So these are all the purpose of constraint. It also ensures data integrity, data cleanliness, right? So by putting some constraint so that the user can put actual relevant data, right? And so we have checked for checked, unique, okay, right? So this is how we put SQL constant. Now we can put insert more records into the table, and we can just see the table, right? So this is how we implement SQL constraints. I hope that is clear, and if you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section and we shall discuss more about it, right? So that's all for this video, and I hope that is clear. If you get value from this video, please consider subscribing our YouTube channel and sharing it to your friends, and so that we can grow and this channel can grow and we can put more relevant content on the channel.